Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel where today we are going to be checking out the brand new Mike and Tony Seltzer LP, Pinball 2. As always, you want to see my full unedited reaction to this LP, as well as every other album I cover on my channel from this year onwards. For only $5 a month, you get the unedited content on my Patreon, link down below. Now, of course, this being Pinball 2, this is a sequel to their first project together, Pinball 1, released last year, which was a short 21-minute project, one that I have actually not given a listen to yet. It is one that I should definitely get around to. I've somehow let it slip by, despite the fact being a huge fan of what Mike has done so far, but I do have quite a few Mike projects still to listen to, so that is just one of many, but Pinball 2 is the one we're covering today, of course, since it is the newest release, just released a few days ago. At 33 minutes, 17 tracks, a lot of these are very quick in typical Mike fashion, which I am a huge fan of, a quick, flashy track showing off Mike's incredible penmanship. Without further ado, let's get into the opening track here, Sin City. Tony Seltzer, for those unaware, is the producer throughout this LP, handles production, and Mike is, you know, the rapper. The label of Mike there. Love Tony Seltzer's sort of hard-hitting drops throughout this one. Very trap, of course. And Mike, of course, sounding as great as ever. If you, by the way, are a fan of his newest LP, Mike's solo LP earlier this year, Showbiz, I covered it on the channel as well. Check that one out. I love that record, but let's keep it going. Like those horns buried in the mix. I think Mike has a more casual delivery throughout this one, feeling a little bit more traditional, not as abstract, of course, but still delivering on bangers. Like, I feel like Tony Seltzer and him together seem to go for a banger approach. Such a kind of daunting horns in the background there. Oh, slowing it down for this outro. Oh my god, it's so sluggish here. Let's go into Dolomite with Lunchbox here. Really playing and manipulating the vocals, especially. Unfamiliar with Lunchbox here. Kind of remind me of Cardi in a way. Certainly in that same circle. Very like stream of consciousness sort of rap style that Mike has always done. Still doing it here. It's very fast, it's very quick, and yet he still sounds as if he is falling asleep at the mic, despite the fact that we are on tracks that are, or on beats that have banger energy to them. Certainly a wider appeal to the sound. I like this piano that's being sampled throughout. Very muddy in the mix. Not a huge fan of Lunchbox, I'll say that. This style doesn't do much for me. Just feels a little too uninspired. Yeah, pretty iffy on that one. Didn't really care for it. A little too mainstream. I did like the piano work in the background there. Let's keep it going. Let's go into 71. Oh. This one's... Now this is a nice funky beat. I could dig this one for sure. Feels a little bit more kind of futuristic and kind of manipulated and modulated. Oh, we're switching up again. Another beat switch. Tony keeping it consistent with these switches.
Don't trip out on that mission cause there's more ways, more bait. How to bring that chicken to your doorway. North side, had to put a city on a tour dates and short. I know Navin got like 20 on this court case.
Oh my god. Love that little pocket there. This one's solid. This is a great one. Don't trip out on that mission, there's more ways. Love that single verse. Hits it hard, hits it fast. Great beat throughout that one too. I would say the best beat so far. Tony killed it on that one. Here's WYC4. What you came for. The abbreviation here. Oh, I like that. That like choir in the background there. Feels quite gospel, like ethereal. Heavenly beat here. A little Playboy Cardi shout out there. Perhaps showing influence. This one's quite heavenly. Well, I much prefer, Showbiz and Burning Desire from Mike. I think the abstract sort of style is certainly more my tempo. This sort of accessible, more trap-focused sound still sounds great with Mike. I feel like he has proven to be a very versatile MC at this point, which is pretty impressive considering he's quite young. Fantastic track. I think this is one of the best ones here too. Especially love this. Just heavenly, sweet, meditative beat. What a switch up here. Golden Dragon. You doubt my dream is worth the time. Perhaps flexing on those who are kind of preying on his downfall. Mike's still having that hunger in him, despite all the success he's earned. Very trippy, lo-fi mixes. Let's Money and Power. Oh, what a glitch open. Dial it back down there, Mike.
That power is funny you get. Money, power is better respect. How you doubt it, one on guess. Running out, I can vouch. Another rider, I'm ready to step. $100 and nothing reflect. And the times is love and neglect. Funny towel to cover my
love how lo-fi.
If I'm down, you gonna cross with me doing this less.
What an accurate title. I feel like we are in like an arcade or like a casino with this beat. So like shiny and hazy in the mix. Another solid track. Money and Power. Feeling like we are in a casino. We are at the slots. Shiny, clean production, yet very hazy. Here's Bell. Love the way these tracks just fling at you one by one. And I love these intros, giving you a glimpse into what's coming. This one's so distant. There it is. That jump into the sound.
I'ma keep conspiring, maneuvering for wealth.
Not sure how I feel about this one though. It did feel like kind of just came and went. I guess when they're that fast, really hard to grasp on everything that's being thrown at you. Love that chipmunk sort of sound, still utilized by Mike. Let's go right into Sucker Free. Love how transitional a lot of these tracks are.
I get colder every winter, keep it bubbly. I miss Jewel and I be wishing on 100G. Money dream.
What a
bitches all that summer me. Cover me. Moving through your city. I got muscle beats traveling. Try to get up with me, meet the company. Gluttony.
What a shimmery, kind of light beat that is kind of just underneath this main trap sort of bass production.
I'm just getting bigger, niggas crumbling.
Just very glimmery. Again, I love that shine that a lot of this LP has.
I concentrate on spitting. I'm with Custo in Virginia. I keep double seeds.
Really rhymes cheese with cheese, but you know what? He gets a pass putting the Sucker Free line in there. Not sure how I feel on this LP, but similar to most Mike LPs, I'll say.
This is a Tony Seltzer exclusive.
The thing about Mike is a lot of his projects, Showbiz included, an album that is currently one of my favorite records of the year. It took quite a few listens. With each listen, it only grew on me more and more. At first, I was like, this is good. It's no Burning Desire. Then I listened to Showbiz another 2, 3, 4 times, and I was like, this is Mike's best project yet. It's better than Burning Desire, which is really, those are the only 2 full-length projects I've heard of his. I have yet to check out his earlier work, but still, Showbiz, to me, feels very fully realized, and it took a while for it to fully kind of grasp me and make me realize what it was going for. And Pinball 2 could be the same deal. So if I seem a little negative, if I seem a little wary throughout this review, keep in mind, first reaction for a Mike project is always going to be a little bit harder to divulge in. But let's go to Prezi. Just throws you right into the deep end here. Very noisy, very abrasive. Sounds like a YouTube poop video, you know? Just pure chaos.
Hey, yo, Tom, is it healthy? Gotta focus. They get scared on that road and shit preparing me. Niggas show it. It's apparent that they
such a hazy mix throughout this LP. I love it.
They choking with the police. Moving stealth.
Oh, I don't like that. That ad-lib in there was nasty.
Make them more, they get sick and envy. Little growth, they respect me. Make some dope.
Very anti-authority track, this one. Nice griminess to it. Here's Angsty. I gotta say, Tony Seltzer, one thing I will say, as opposed to some of other Mike's projects, he brings a very consistent sound across the table that's very hazy and, like I said, very shimmery, glimmery, beautiful, almost tranquil in a way, while having some really hard-hitting trap beats over top. When you compare it to a lot of other Mike projects, which I feel like are more diverse in their sound, this one has a more cohesive sound. So if that's up your alley, then it's certainly a project for you. But let's go into Angsty here. Let's keep going.
I
like how more laid back.
So the shroom just make me angry. I can mute my taste with Ramsey. I be moving way too fast.
Perhaps Mike dealing with maybe Mike's kind of musing on the drug use and using it as an escape from his anxiety.
She came from ain't scary and to paint my sanctuary. I be save my neighbor.
This is a Tony Seltzer exclusive.
You just don't force it.
Yeah.
Last one was again, musing on anxiety and perhaps drug use to escape it. I don't know, a lot's coming at me here. This bass,
Don't force it. Oh, you popping on some
really
really bullshit.
weird bass, very jilted.
Cause he done see me get away with hella more shit. All this John with got sources. I don't see us coming second in the portion.
Jesus.
I probably reify breakfast in the morning.
Trying to even decipher, you know, these rhyme schemes. They're so quick, off the cuff, nonchalant in his delivery, and yet the multi-syllabic kind of rhyme schemes throughout this thing. You need like to color code it. One of those videos where they color code every syllable. This would be like a Jackson Pollock painting. You know what I'm saying? Just incredibly dense is the rhyme schemes. Here's Hell Date with Sideshow.
Why you tight? Why you tight? It's alright. Me link me on that time for my time's sake. It cost some G's a hit.
This one very futuristic. Lots of
You take a peek into my spot, might up the crime rate. Yeah, we be eating appetizers in the entree.
kind of weird UFO sound effects in the background here.
I'm doing things I say the price and make your mind change. I'm cool to
There it
be
is.
the way I'm dancing.
Those
I
bleep
like
bloops.
Mike J. Wrong time, but I'm always.
Why you tight? Why you tight? Why you tight?
Your Sideshow.
Pro club, white fit tight. Need a shorty like my Sprite, strong and dark as midnight. Roll my sheet up like it's art. Roll my
Oh.
sheet up like a kite. I roll my sheet up when I'm funneled, then that bitch won't hit right. Try and bring my baby in the club with me. Bring it on a flight. Trade my right hand.
I actually think he complements Mike's style quite well. Same sort of, you know, droll, slow flow that can be compared to Earl Sweatshirt, of course, who does make an appearance later on the LP here. I think a better combo here for sure, in my opinion, than Lunchbox. But that's just on a first listen. I'm digging what Sideshow's bringing to the table.
I don't even wanna write. I'm out packing more out Philly with my brother Big Mike. Where you at? I'm getting money national. They catch a flight, but it's
Like,
my
just
life.
feels so
As many like
kind of
it.
laid back in his delivery.
Tank, is that too much to ask? I just want to make something that's for me and mine. Hey, tank, cat.
Man, also quite vulnerable in his lyrics. I just want to be happy. Is that too much to ask? I just want to make something that's for me and mine. Too much street shit on my mind. Man, Sideshow really coming with bars that quickly just shows the direction and the goal of his lyricism here. Wants to leave the street life behind, like many rappers. But let's keep going. I like that one. I like that one quite a bit. I think their chemistry is pretty tight on that one. Let's go into Splat next.
I know some things I did alone might disgrace you. But trying to put money on the floor, on the table. Hit me wave in my city, you ain't here.
Shouting out his mom once again. Tight relationship with his mom.
I'm the reason why they froze, why they stare cars. The reason why they froze, why they stare cars. Shit, just know you supposed to die alone. We might share a car.
Not sure how I feel about this LP in general. I do like this track. I like the little shout out to his mom. I like what perhaps here remorseful for his actions in the pursuit of money and fame. Here's Shaq and Kobe with Niantic. Another artist I'm unfamiliar with.
Mikey B, like Shaq and Kobe,
Yeah, that's twin, Jack and Cody, I ain't scared.
I don't like this track at all. I don't think Niantic's bars back to back to back there a little too much. I think that's the chorus. Not a good chorus. Mike, I think you're missing on this track. Listen, I love a Zach and Cody shout out as much as the next guy, but
I'm geeked up, nigga, I'm fried. I'm out of my body and mind. Each day that's hard to find, but ain't God for this heart of mine.
I also think Niantic's delivery is
What happened again? The game I love. What happened to moving inside?
not sure he can even rap on beat there. It felt like he was a little too offbeat and not intentionally so. Not sure about that one. Kind of just felt sloppy in his delivery.
Like I'm a tyrant. Them trenches, nigga, never gave a 10.
The Mamma Mia line's hilarious.
find what help my partner mod it. Yeah, fat, That's a good one, Me and my
Yeah, I don't like this track. I don't like this track at all. I think this is the worst track on here. It's bland, it's boring, it's repetitive. Tony Seltzer's not really offering too much on here either to really grasp at. I feel like this record, despite being 33 minutes, does feel pretty long. Maybe it's just not doing it for me. Maybe Tony Seltzer and Mike just aren't a combo that I am too fond of. But then again, you know, I like my Mike to be on some classic samples, you know, something that feels very throwback in tone, very abstract. Whereas this is a little bit too derivative of a lot of trap, in my opinion. Let's go to the next one here. Miri is the next one. I do like that crushed out sound that Tony does. Again, that kind of glimmery production back in full effect. I think I like this one. This one's gonna need more listens. This one's definitely gonna need more listens. This whole project. Because this one is quite hypnotic in its repeating beat there.
We had to hire people that master use to make a replicator. In case you don't know, a lot of technology for music equipment synthesis come from that.
Let's go into Jumanji with none other than Earl Sweatshirt, the legend himself. Him and Mike together are always a treat, in my opinion. This one already, probably the most soulful thing we've heard so far, that little sample there.
I know I need, I'm a struggling thirst, somebody, I ain't thinking these words surprise me, on the beat how I serve Gianni, by the pothole curves and high speed, on my feet on the curb.
Say Surf Gang reference?
I'm really hungry, Jack, we starving. If I run your stash, I'm sorry. Hey, what's up, your man, he jarring. Running up a new back cathartic, blue hunted like Avatar. This another one, Barry Bonds. Big bundle of cash, what I need.
Even Earl.
It ain't good if the stamp ain't on it. Shit running the way it's designed. Had to run for a campaign on them. Tapping in with the 10K soldiers.
Kind of feels like he's even kind of phoning it in this one.
Ain't gonna be no two ways about it. Bliss them, it's only fair. Ho, if you sinking and say yourself, I went too far into coming for air.
I know what I need.
Yeah, even Earl Sweatshirt, him and Mike always been a great duo. Love everything they've done together from what I've heard. But on this one here, honestly, Earl feels like he is just kind of phoning it in. Not sure. Everything about it, his delivery, his flow, his bars, really bland in my opinion. Nothing really jumped out. But I think this LP just might not be for me then. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I'm the problem. But let's go to the final track here. Just Pains is the next one here. Oh, Super Mario Brothers sample there. There it is again. I know that anyway. A lot of video game samples there. Street Fighter as well. Maybe doesn't want to be in the limelight anymore. I do like his verse here. Very vulnerable.
It's true I had to test fate. I'm a job, I'm making music to get rampage. Me and you, that's best case.
I do like this track to close it out. Feels like Mike is in his feels. Maybe saddened by the fame in a sense. And of course Tony as shimmery as ever, which I do like that approach. I do like the kind of glimmery, shiny feel that he kind of puts out in his sound. But I gotta say, as a whole LP, Pinball 2, closing it out there with Chest Pain, which I thought was a really solid closer. I did think it was Mike being vulnerable, Mike being kind of in his feels, which is sometimes my favorite moments of Mike's work. I will say, though, as a whole, 33 minutes, honestly, could have shaved it down to like a 20 and make it an EP. I don't really get the whole album rollout, I guess. I don't think this is one that one could say is album worthy, but there are some decent tracks here. There are some decent tracks. I liked the opener. I liked 71 and What You Came For. I thought those were fantastic. I also really liked Golden Dragon and Money and Power. But as we went on, I did feel like it started to falter, fall apart, and begin to feel a little bland and uninspired to some extent. Sideshow, I thought complemented pretty well with Mike. But Niante and Lunchbox, completely off base. I think Lunchbox was feeling a little bit too much like a Cardi knockoff, which, sorry if you're a fan of Lunchbox, I just don't really get the appeal there. That whole style felt very derivative, I guess you could say. And Niante, that chorus that he had with Mike there was pretty horrendous in my opinion, pretty bland, and just felt like they were both phoning it in for that track. Earl Sweatshirt even felt like he didn't really want to be in the booth. So I'm not sure on this LP. I'm very mixed. I'm very confused. I'm not sure if it'll grow on me. I hope it will. I'll give it more listens. I mean, Showbiz, I did like it when I first heard it, and then more listens, it definitely grew it even more. Whereas Pinball 2, I'm not really sure I even really like this, and I don't know if it'll grow on me, but I will give it more listens, and I hope in time maybe it will grow on me, and maybe I will appreciate it for what it is. Tony Seltzer, though, I do think is a pretty solid producer. I love his, just again, very shimmery, ethereal, kind of hazy production that he brings to the table, while still mixing in some, mainstream sort of trap elements. I think he is unique in that sense. But that does it for today's video. If you like the video, please hit like and subscribe to follow along. Check out my Patreon down below in the description if you are interested in, my videos unedited for $5 a month or just bonus content in general. But as always, my name is Rainy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.